Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Let's let the coffee kick in. I'm back for another sit down video. This is the first one in a while because I've just been really busy, with nothing. Anyway, this is gonna be a video about how to prepare for a cabin crew assessment day. This is gonna be a sit down video and also a get ready with me video. So I'm gonna be doing my makeup and hair on how you should do it for your assessment day, and I'm gonna be giving you tips. So just a little background about me. I finished uni in the Philippines and I graduated from University of Santo Tomas. I took up travel and hospitality management for 4 years. So no further ado, let's start. Sorry guys, I just woke up and just wanted to show you how I did my makeup on my assessment day. And at the same time, there were a lot of, from my previous vlog, there were a lot of people asking me for advice or tips. Recently, I've had an assessment day for British Airways, and from that video, there were a lot of people asking me for advice. I'm not really gonna talk about the exact questions they asked, but I'm just gonna give advice on how to prepare for it. So yeah, I think I didn't really put any foundation on at that time, but you can. I mean, like, I've applied for 2 assessment days. Two assessment days in the Philippines. It was for Qatar Airways, and I'm telling you, if you don't really have any problems with your skin, don't wear foundation, because you're gonna be waiting there for 6 hours. You're gonna be in line under the sun, and your makeup is gonna be hulas. What's the English for that? It's gonna melt. So yeah, this is gonna be my foundation. I like to apply it like a moisturizer. So yeah, so I applied for Qatar Airways in the Philippines and I got rejected twice. Rejected. The one thing that I learned from it is to not put too much makeup, because you're gonna melt. Unless you know how to properly set your makeup, don't put foundation on. I don't really put a lot on my nose because I have glasses and I'm gonna be touching my nose a lot. So my assessment day with British Airways was virtual, so this is what I did for it. Then you're gonna want to set that with powder. So when you're doing your makeup, if you're gonna add foundation, if you're gonna put foundation, make sure you set it properly. Make sure you blend it properly. Set it right away with powder so that it doesn't crease. So tap 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 tap. Don't slide it, guys. Yeah, so this is our base. The first attempt for Qatar Airways, we waited there for so long just to submit our CV and do a reach test. So it's when there's gonna be like a tape on the wall, and all of you guys will be standing next to it, and then they're gonna say, okay, reach, like 5 people all at once, and then you're gonna try to reach that tape. So this is the tape, and 3 fingers should be over that tape. So this is the tape, and then you reach like that, and 3 fingers should be over that tape. For Qatar, we weren't allowed to be on our tiptoes and we had to remove our heels. So some people at that time, they were already getting cut off. So natatanggal na sila agad because they were too small or either too tall. So I don't know why some people just got cut off because of being too tall. And I was like, what? And some people were cut off because of tiptoeing. So don't even try to tiptoe. Just for the time being, stretch your shoulders, stretch your arms, make sure you're flexible. So when you do the reach test, you're gonna be flexible and try to put 3 fingers over that tape. After that, I didn't get a call the next day. And then the second attempt was exactly the same thing. We waited for so long, like 6 hours. I feel sorry for my brother, my oldest brother. He was waiting with me. He was in the car park because we thought it wasn't gonna be the same. We thought it was gonna be quick. He was waiting for me for 6 hours just for me to submit my CV. You have to remember, when you're there, when you're lining up, when you're in the queue, when you're waiting, as long as you're there in the assessment center, you're being judged. May it be virtual or personal, or in the center itself, you are being watched, you are being judged. So don't be like because it's gonna be hot in the Philippines. Or if your assessment is virtual, don't be like this on the couch. Always have your camera on. So you always have your camera on because you are being judged. They are making you think that you're just with other candidates, but you are actually being judged. For British Airways, they put us in a room. You think you're in there with only candidates, but there are actually recruiters inside that virtual room watching you. You have to interact. You don't have to talk about yourself that much. You just have to interact, you know. Like some people would be talking about themselves, about their experience. If you don't want to open up about your experience, just be like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's such a nice experience. I don't know, just react. Always have your camera on and your mic on and just react to everything. If you haven't had an assessment day before, just to give you an idea, it's gonna be hella stressful, but it's only gonna be stressful if you let yourself be stressed, because there's gonna be a lot of candidates there and you're gonna compare yourself, girl. You're gonna compare yourself to every single one of them. You're gonna be looking at them. Oh, they're gonna be saying, oh my goodness, she's so pretty. Why am I here? Why do I deserve to be here? They're so pretty, they're so tall, they're so composed, they're so everything. Try not to compare yourself. Just think about yourself. You do you. So yeah, when I had my assessment days for Qatar Airways, it was so stressful because there were so many other candidates that are so much better. I mean, physical appearance wise. For me, the Qatar Airways assessment days are more stressful than my British Airways assessment day because I was online, and people here are more chill about it. It's like they're just applying for another job, because from the way that I've seen people, I mean, from the way that I've seen candidates on that assessment day, I don't know, they weren't as prepared as me. I mean, I was like this, I was sitting on this exact chair, this was my exact background. And some people on that assessment day, they were on their sofa, they were on their bed. So it wasn't like they were in an interview. It was more like a casual thing. People were like this on their bed. So yeah, the assessment day for British Airways was more chill than when I had my assessment day for Qatar. I forgot to put blush, but put blush, guys. Don't look dead on your assessment day. Put your blush like up where you would put highlight, like, and contour, like up there to lift your face. Put a little bit on your forehead, a little bit on your chin, a little bit on your nose to make it look natural. So that's for going to a virtual assessment day. You have to treat it like a proper interview, you know? You're gonna treat it like a proper assessment day. You don't go to an interview and sit like this, right? So you have to sit like this, make sure that your background's clear to maintain like a professional vibe. Make sure your face is presentable. Make sure you don't have any background noise. Like for me, it's impossible because I live next to the road. So when I got to my interview for British Airways, right away I said to my recruiter, I said, by the way, you're gonna hear a lot of ambulance because I live right next to the road. And she was really cool about it. She was like, oh yeah, I live next to the road as well, I understand, it's okay. So yeah, so just treat it like a proper interview. That's why I was saying earlier to keep your mic and your camera on, because when in an interview can you just become invisible? When you can't. You're always there in an interview, they're always watching you. You have to give them the opportunity to assess you. You're gonna have your camera off and your mic off. How are they gonna assess you, babe? Another tip is for you to be early. It's nice to be early because for me, what happened with me, I was like half an hour or 15 minutes early, and they thought I was one of the recruiters. So they accepted me into that virtual room, and I was with the recruiters. So I was like with them, and I was like, there were a lot of people, a lot of candidates waiting in the waiting room, and I was inside with the recruiters. So yeah, be early. When you're going to an assessment day, you want to show the recruiters how you look on the job. You want to let them imagine that you're already a cabin crew. You want to do your makeup like this, natural, not too heavy, just to make yourself look nice and presentable. You're gonna want to groom your hair for the boys. You know, makeup should be a thing for boys as well. Don't look pale, guys. So yeah, let me do my hair real quick. Ta-da! I've done my hair and I just put on this blazer. At my assessment day, I had a shirt and this blue blazer. So just like what I said earlier, you want the recruiters to imagine you doing the job or on the job. So British Airways, that's blue, and just imagine a hat. So yeah, this is how I looked like on my virtual assessment day. And for Qatar Airways, I wore a maroon shirt. Try to present yourself as a cabin crew of their company. Not like, hey, I want to apply for your company, but like, hey, I'm a cabin crew of your company. So there's a heat wave in London, so I'm gonna take this. So yeah, when you have your virtual assessment, sit straight, have a chair, clear background, camera on, mic on, clean makeup, sleek hair, formal attire or bright room. Sure you test your mic or your camera. For assessment days in the assessment centers themselves, prepare for a long wait because you're gonna be queuing for a long time. You're gonna be there for hours. Bring a bottle of water, bring snacks, bring gum, batinko, bring all the documents you need. Yeah, just be prepared for a long wait because I remember for Qatar Airways, I was waiting for 6 hours or more and I was really hungry because I didn't bring any snacks. Sorry, I'm just looking outside because it's such a nice day and I want to go out. Sorry, I need to look here. Have your documents ready. For British Airways, they're not going to proceed with your assessment if you don't have your documents. I mean, that's what happened with me. My first ever try for British Airways was 3 years ago and I didn't have my visa with me on my new passport, something like that. Or my residence permit, I didn't have it. So they didn't push through with my assessment day. It has to be there. And since you stayed, let me give you some advice. The interview, Qatar or British Airways, I remember, it was such a long time ago, but I remember the questions were very situational. Honestly, for Qatar, my interview was mostly like them assessing my body because Qatar is a very strict airline. They don't want any scar, they don't want any tattoos anywhere visible. So in my interview, they made me roll up my sleeves to check if I had any tattoos or any scars. They did another reach test. So yeah, that was mostly like my interview for Qatar. They asked me a lot about experience. I just finished uni at that time and I didn't have any work experience with me. My only work experience was my internship. At that time for Qatar, I was just explaining everything that we were doing for our internship. And the thing is, you wanna explain properly what you were doing, your tasks, your everyday duties. Like the fact that they're asking you that is just so that they're gonna find out if you yourself know what you're supposed to do. Because as a cabin crew member, you need to know the protocols or step-by-step process in the plane or in the aircraft, because that's the most important part of our job. So yeah, by asking your experience, they not just want to know your experience, but they want to know if you know what you were supposed to be doing. Very specific things. For example, for a specific day that you were stressed and how did you handle it? Or a specific day where you had to resolve something, how you did it. So it's not just about that experience, it's also how you explain it. So you need to be properly briefed in your head what you were doing so that you know how to explain it. For British Airways, they were asking a lot about my experience, and I'm currently a waitress here in London, and that's my only experience because after I got my first job, I stayed with them. And yeah, I just tried to answer all the questions based on the qualifications that a cabin crew needs. You need to be aware of security or safety, and when you're answering the questions, you want to connect those. So like if you're talking about safety, what did you do in your job that's connected to it? So yeah, I didn't have any questions for what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you know about the company, why cabin crew, why British Airways, why Qatar Airways. I didn't get any questions about that, but it's just nice to know about the company just in case they talk about the company, you're gonna know something. But yeah, I didn't have any questions about those, but let's not assume that you're not gonna get any questions about those. Let's just assume the worst. Yeah. For role playing. So for Qatar Airways, we didn't do a role play. For other airlines, they do it a lot. so that they get to know more about you. So for role play, you just want to focus on how you work with other people, or how to solve a problem, how to handle a complaint. So they're gonna mostly focus on how you communicate. Like 10 days before your assessment day, try to talk about how to solve a problem. You can't just say, oh, just do this, oh, just do that. You have to say your solution. Oh, you could do this, do that, and explain it, because it's much easier, blah 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 blah. You need to know how to present your ideas into words, and they're gonna want you to be mindful of others. So while you're presenting your idea, a solution, you also want to care about other people's opinion, or your colleagues' opinion. So you're gonna be like, oh, so I'm thinking of this for doing this or that. So it's gonna be much easier because blah 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 blah. How about you? What do you think? Something like that. So we never know if it's gonna be a group role play or just a one-on-one role play with the recruiter. But for me, for British Airways, we had a one-on-one role play, which is the recruiter is obviously the customer and I am an employee, and it's just like a customer-employee interaction where the customer is complaining and the employee has to resolve it. So yeah, you just have to be quick thinking, and you gotta listen to your tone, because I never had a hospitality job before when I was in the Philippines. I mean, we studied about it in uni. When I came here to London and I started a waitressing job, that's when I heard proper customer service tone. In London, it's like it comes with them. British people are always so nice. So this is gonna be one thing that you can have as an edge when you have your assessment day in the Philippines, because none of them would do this. You have to have the customer service tone. Like, hello, how are you? Are you alright? You don't have to have a British accent. When you finish your interview, just say, oh, thank you very much. Hope you have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview. Just focus on your experience, how you can express them in words. Because when I had my interview, like, I know exactly what my experience is, but then because of the nerves, I was like, oh shoot, how do I explain this? Like, my brain wasn't working. How do I say this? So just practice how you're gonna explain your experience. And for the role play, yeah, just try to practice how you can resolve things, suggest solutions, be mindful of others, be clear in communicating. Just try to have all the qualities a cabin crew should have. You need to empathize, you need to collaborate, you need to know how to communicate, you need to be aware of the safety and security. That's pretty much what I can think of right now. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you have an assessment day coming, good luck. Don't be nervous. I mean, you can be nervous, but don't let it affect you. Just breathe in before you answer a question, and then just breathe out while you're talking, so you don't talk like like that. Just every time the recruiter is talking, just that's the last tip. That's another tip. So yeah, breathe. You can do this. Imagine the recruiters are just normal people like you. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you want more videos about cabin crew assessment day or the application process, let me know in the comments. Sure you do like this video so you can help me, and subscribe. Thank you guys. I hope you like this video. Bye.